nosaltres, representants democràtics del poble de Catalunya, en el lliure exercici del dret d'autodeterminació i d'acord amb el mandat rebut de la ciutadania de Catalunya, constituïm la República Catalana com a estat independent i sobirà de dret democràtic i social.
Era un camino trazado, marcado, explicado, además explicado en sede parlamentaria, de forma muy transparente, muy clara. No fue ninguna conspiración para ninguna rebelión. Fueron todos actos parlamentarios, actos abiertos, transparentes, e invitamos a la gente de Cataluña a ejercer un derecho que tenemos, que es el derecho a la autodeterminación.
Esta nación se ha alzado para decidirlo todo de una vez por todas y todos juntos. Nadie nos podrá parar.
I think in Catalonia we clearly see an example of a form of nationalism that is fueled and reinforced by a very uncompromising and a very polarizing attitude of the central state.
Y hoy lo han constatado. Sabían que el referéndum era ilegal, improcedente e imposible, pero decidieron seguir adelante y promover un verdadero ataque al Estado de Derecho y al modelo democrático sin que le importase nada ni nadie.
Los estados tienen miedo. Tienen miedo no a la idea de una Cataluña independiente en sí, porque la independencia se ha habido en el pasado y va a haber en el futuro, sino Cataluña como síntoma de algo que no les gusta y que viene, que es un nuevo mundo.
Vi har alltid här färger till Nordstårsland. Det är gott med de som kommer från Danmark till Nektor. Vi tar en dator ner runt dem så. Vi tar väl ferie så glömmer jag mig. Vi kan föra flåt av hågna koka. Vi körs inte affären till Handels att köpa upp äta. Vi kan det samma vi äpplen. Du kan välta där äpplen och fisken kan skaffa själva. Du har nekt stora friheten i naturen. Du har kanske i Örland, där du är bunden att det går lov. Att detta måste inte och detta måste. Alltså Arne, du ska spela myndlagen. Så som är det så ut.
There's a lot of Faroe people who are not walking in the nature, you know. A lot of people don't go in the mountains and the ocean, but it's starting to be more and more. They are discovering it. I'm a diver and a photographer. It's a very big part of my life, and I got so fantastic good relaxation when I go down under. Totally peace, weightlessness. It's like a paradise for a diver because the ocean is all around, and you just have to jump in, and it's very different from place to place also. Yes. days, people were living on one island. You didn't leave that island. Of course, if you went out fishing, but general people didn't leave the island. And I heard about people that have been all their life on a small island in the old days, and they never left it.
If you have a look at the Faroe Islands, it consists of 18 islands. And these 18 islands were definitely not connected. They were all apart from each other, and you had to sail in between the islands. So the very first connection comes in 1972 when we built a bridge between the two biggest islands. But over the past few years, we've actually also built subsea tunnels to some of the other islands. On Vágar, for instance, where the airport is now connected to the main islands where the capital is, and also to the second largest city in Klaksvík in the northernmost islands. And we are now constructing some of the largest subsea tunnels in the North Atlantic between the capital and the second largest city, Runavík in Eysturoy, and also connecting Sandoy. When all this connectivity is in place, it means that 80% of the landmass and 80% of the population is now connected into one road system. It's a huge revolution compared to this island community that existed only 20 years ago. The size of the investment that we are making in our own country in comparison to other larger countries, it's huge. But the benefits are also huge. And we are ready to take the risks on that because we are the one who wants the benefits out of it. And I don't think that the Danes ever understood how important it is for the future of the Faroese and the welfare of the Faroese. And I don't blame them. They don't live in conditions like we do.
I am from Faroe, so. But I have sailed over the most of the world. And if you said you was from Faroe, there was very few people in the world that know what Faroe is. But if you said you were Danish or from Scandinavia, it was okay. I like to be together with Denmark. I think it's better. Because here we are only 52,000 people here, but we today we are over all the world, and it will be too expensive to have an ambassador in every country. Many good things to be together with Denmark. Yes.
Las Islas Faroe podrían haber sido independientes ya hace mucho tiempo, y es verdad que tienen su propia cultura, son prácticamente independientes de hecho, su economía pesquera, etcétera, etcétera. Tienen una fuerte conciencia de su especificidad propia, pero la independencia no les interesa, les saldría más cara. También es verdad que muchas veces no se tiene en cuenta que Dinamarca tiene una cierta tradición de Estado compuesto, y Copenhague muchas veces se definía como una capital imperial. Y que además en el ámbito nórdico estas cuestiones siempre se han manejado con sumo pragmatismo y gran respeto a la democracia.
big step that happens is actually during the wartime, Second World War, from 1940 to 45. Because during that time, we lost completely all connection to Denmark, which was occupied by the Germans, and we were defended by the British. And during that time, the Faroe Islands experienced a huge leap forward from being an old-fashioned society to becoming a more modern society, partly in politics, because our parliament got legislative power, because we got a government which was actively working as a government. We had a huge investment in infrastructure. We earned a lot of money because we sailed fish to the British market during this time. So when the wartime was over, we were actually a more modern society than we were previously, and much more self-conscious. And we had got the grip of what it meant to be in power of our own destiny. So the time after that was actually very much a battle with the Danes on remaining in power of our own destiny instead of turning back time to pre-wartime when we didn't hold any sovereign power of our own.
Nekk bentra av nekve førgengs også her i middelen, men det finnes også målet til AKV4. Og så var han folk AKV her og her, og løy til morgen til 4 at vi skulle føre ur rysfellesskapen. Men til virte så danska konger ikke, eller danska valkatinge, og kort og løpt ikke hjem, og så fikk vi den heimastyrslev etterfølgende. Men til seneste 20 årene, så er det ikke ivrig om at jeg hadde det 5-6 statsminister som har sittet som har sagt om at det ikke er føringer at taka seg ur danska regional, så for at har sjålvandi at vira til avgjørende som føringer taka.
We have used this home rule system to gradually become more and more independent. So since 1948, during these 70 years, we have practically taken over all responsibilities for all internal affairs. So of course the culture and our language is Faroese, our administration is Faroese, our schools are Faroese, our social system, our health system, everything is Faroese today. We have also taken over the responsibility for all our fisheries. Denmark joined the European Union, we stayed outside. So actually we gained a lot of independence with that act. Fish from the sea is the most important thing in the economy.
Ein affär utramma och la fisk med och allt fisk med. Det är hårt arbete. Vi kan gott vara veck och göra dagarna utan att sova, komma hem, sova när trötta timmar så är det hårt. Men då man väl fröjøytna och så och till dem man fer ut att fiska. Du vet inte vad det fast. Och är det nekva på så det har gått. Och är inte så för man hem alltså. Och det är att morgon. Och lycka spänt. Göskan av den första fisken är sera god. Hon är nog den bästa göskan vi har. Jag vet inte. Jag råknar inte vi klarar oss själv. Vant inte. Det är nog tog jag vet.
Of course, it's not of our free choice, that we are under Denmark. But I think our country is a fantastic country, and we can make it all by ourselves, no problem. It depends on how the world will develop, but we are now ready to. But the 50% of the people want to be in a part of Denmark, and 50% want to be alone, So If you ask the Danish people, they will say, we don't care. Let them go if they want to. But if you ask the politicians, oh, no. They will keep them here, you know, because if Denmark lose Faroe Islands and Greenland, nobody wants to talk to Denmark anymore, you know, because... Huh?
I think the European Union is afraid that Europe again should be divided into small entities that are in struggle. And we also experienced that when we negotiated with the Danish government on the independence, that they are very reluctant. They are not using hard powers, they are very reluctant. And we can also see that in the European Union, the Union is afraid that one independence process in Europe should lead to another. So there are also some similarities there, where we can state that the European has done nothing to address or even debate the process of Catalonia. And we have a parliamentarian called Mr. Magni Arge, who has been very active and was in Catalonia during the referendum. And he also sits in different committees in the Danish parliament. And he was the one who also invited Charles Puigdemont to speak and have meetings in the Danish parliament.
The interest of the meeting was of course huge, and the media around it became far bigger than anyone had expected. But that was probably because he was such a mystified person at this time, because he had been exiled in Belgium. In modern times, being exiled in Belgium, a European country, was a bit special, and this was his first visit outside Belgium. And the tension this Monday morning as he was to arrive was very much about whether there would come an arrest order for it. So everybody was very interested to see whether that was going to happen or not, and whether he was prepared to take the risk or not. And well, he did, and he came to Copenhagen, and in the end there was no arrest order issued. So the program was fulfilled over the 2 days under a huge press observation. So I think that in the end he probably won a lot of room for his views, and he got the possibility to explain his cause, and I think that was good for the Catalan people. I think that was good for the democratic procedure.
Thank you very much for your commitment and solidarity, Carlos. And this is the two of us conquering Europe.
I was invited to come and visit in Catalonia and to watch and see what was going on the 1st of October when the referendum was. And when I at that time experienced the huge difference between this very respectful and emotional feelings of the Catalan people who wanted to cast their vote in a very democratic manner, being then challenged by Guardia Civil in the most forceful way, was in a violent way, was something that I had never ever anticipated. It is so far from democratic thinking in the Nordic countries, so I got in deep shock of what I experienced. It is always like that the host state looks upon this issue as a constitutional issue, meaning they hold on to the constitution because that keeps the borderline in place and their power in place. And the part that wants the self-determination and may want to go independent is always looking upon this seen from a self-determination issue, which is more of an international law issue. And that challenges the host state's way of looking upon it. And therefrom comes this sort of clash between the two parties. And then the question is, how do you find a balance out of this?
Ik que los países pequeños y Færøerne puede tener una oportunidad para demostrar al mundo que no es ninguna desventaja, al contrario, hoy es una ventaja ser una nación manejable, pequeña, súper conectada, súper internacionalizada, su economía es absolutamente abierta, conectada con el mundo y ser una nación ejemplar en términos de gestión medioambiental, social, tecnológica, educacional. Yo creo que es una gran oportunidad las Færøerne para demostrar eso.
Fyra søtten så har vi det her til at vi har ivetidser at målsøker og fullkjærlige sjålbjørgen, eller bioskapelige sjålbjørgen. Men framvegs halte det skillet godt at Færøerne en parster av riksfellesskapen og ikke standa ensamhet og i det større hjemme. Vi jo et lite samfunn og famet, ikke så nekk folk. Og så det skillet godt at det her var samstarv vi andre, ikke minst at det kommer til vergepolitikk og valuta og så fremdeles.
I think we live in paradise, the Faroe Islands, you know, and we are a part of Denmark or under Denmark, and I will say it's okay for now, because everything is fine now, and we are working, you know, for the future, but we are living in the now. I'm not a romantic, you know, in that way. No, it takes time, and you know, we're working towards it.